Hello all, welcome to Robinsive Training. It's a continued video for the course Advanced Network Exploitation Expert. Myself Rikun Sindwar and I will be your instructor for this entire course. I hold over 5 years of experience in cybersecurity. I'm a red teamer at work. I also do security researcher and hold multiple CVs. Couple of articles are published over Pen Test Magazine, OSCP, OSW and OSCP certified from Offensive Security. The course Advanced Network Exploitation Expert helps you to build core knowledge against network security and penetration testing. The course is for everyone who has basic understanding in cybersecurity, cleared their basics of networking, basics of their penetration testing, or I can say anyone with the knowledge of CEH. Post completion of the course, you will able to gain core concept understanding over various topics, perform internal or external penetration testing, perform extensive network assessment, find security misconfiguration within Active Directory environment, able to do privilege escalation over Windows and Linux machines, write automation scripts, and many more to go. Please read the description before moving ahead with the course content. So we are done with the third section for the module 3 Metasploit all the things, and it's a summary session or summary video in which you will gonna get an overall idea of what are the things that has been covered so far in the Metasploit all the things. So let me quick shift to the Xmind file. So with the summary, in the Metasploit, all the things we learned different use cases for the Metasploit, all the things and all the features and functionality that we will going to utilize in this entire journey of learning all the network penetration testing and in general pen testing, what I can tell you. The basics is what we started with, and which we learned many concepts related to Metasploit, like how you can start your Metasploit console by doing two different ways, or by going with the two different ways. First is MSFDB start along with MSF console. So the first command will going to start the database. So your track record will be logged all the times. Along with that, we learned about MSFDB run. It will automatically do the same things in backend. We already learned about how you can import data from various formats, like Nmap is what we have practically seen, and in the basics concepts, of course. Once we moved towards basically we are aware about all the help menus, how you can load the things. We moved towards the Venom, and within the Venom as well, we learned about how you can make your own Trojan, malicious piece of code or executable. It can be anything. So, with the Venom, we learned about the most important concepts of shellcode. In the shellcode, we learned about how the shellcode is structured. In this particular format, you can see in the screen, like the first is operating system, second one is architecture, whether it is 32-bit, 64-bit program, it can be interpreter, it can be shell, it can be any other. The next is staged and stageless. For the stage, we are already aware that only connection code will gonna be present in the main executable that will going to be executed, and the rest part will gonna be gathered when the communication is initiated. In the stageless, everything will be included, like it will not gonna require any other part to be delivered by the attacker system. So the next part is stage and stageless. And apart from that, there is a connection type. How you want your connection type would be. It will be reverse or bind or any other method. And the protocol you would like to use. It can be TCP, UDP, or any other protocol that it can offer. Then we also learned about difference between reverse shell and bind shell. What is reverse shell? What is bind shell? How reverse shell works? Why the bind shell called as a bind shell? Of course, the different formats, framework transform and framework executable. The framework transform is for the shell code. It will just going to give you a malicious piece of code that you can utilize, that you can put in a variable, and you can utilize that variable for your malform action, and you have to make your own executable. out of it. And in the framework executable, it will gonna have the executable code. It will not gonna require any other addition on top of it. You just have to execute with whatever the language or program or interpreter you are written to. In the next, we also got our hands little dirty with the encoders, and within the encoders, we are aware with the iteration. It's a basic kind of bypasses for the antivirus and things, but there are pretty much many ways I cannot even count of. There are many ways which can utilize this encoder, which can uh, bypass many of the security product when it comes to the defender, when it comes to any other antivirus specific. I'm not talking about any other super difficult one. After this Venom part, we moved towards auxiliaries, and we tried to utilize Metasploit auxiliaries in different ways for the enumeration against services. Not just limited to that service enumeration, it can also utilize for n number of things. But those things will gonna give it a go when we are pretty much mature to learn those type of advanced stuff. Post auxiliary, we moved towards exploits, and for the exploit, we learned few test cases, and based on what we got to know about different ways and use cases for the exploits. And in the exploits, you will gonna have your malicious piece of code, that is what we can say a shell code included. But within the auxiliary, no shell code will gonna be included. Remember that. This is the keynote here. In auxiliary, no shell code will gonna be present. It will just gonna identify the things. When it comes to exploit, it will gonna have that particular shell code. And with the case one, we got to know about service based exploitation, how services can be often abused or exploited in order to gain initial access over a particular system. Apart from that, when someone got to know about credential, how that credential can be utilized is what we have already seen in case 2. In the case 3, we have taken one small example of privilege escalation, where with the low privilege user, how we can escalate our privilege to the maximum available. As we already have the privilege access, we need to maintain our access, and the best way to maintain our access is using the post module. With the case one, we did some kind of routing, pivoting to identify internal connected host. And in the case two, we got to know about how we can maintain access by just finding credential and utilizing it with the various service that are across. The overall objective of this entire uh, section, which is Metasploit all the things, is to give you a total awareness and possible use cases. Of course, it's not fully covered here, but it has most of the things that are required to move further in this course. So it will give you a nudge to utilize the Metasploit framework in any of your area with your expertise, of course. So it will always require brain GPT, and that what I can call. And yeah, this is all I had in my mind for this particular summary. If you have any queries, questions related to any of the module, if you need more understanding, if you need more detailed explanation for any of the topic, feel free to comment below. And yeah, that's it. That's all. See you next time.